there is a simpler solution. Protect from typically cold.
A little bit more like muscle.
We're putting this plastic and open one side.
ओ मेरे भाई
Nature, a subject which I would say us most gardeners are very interested in. That's one of the reasons that we garden. But there are times that nature becomes a nuisance. It could be because of the weathers, the temperature, too hot, too cold. It could be animals which could come and destroy your vegetation. It could be birds which come and again destroy your vegetation and take the fruit of your labor. So there is a simpler solution to fight some of these things naturally. And one of them is having hoops. This is a very simple construction. What we have done is taken PVC pipe, some metal bars, and eventually you'll see the materials that might not see all the materials, but you'll have an idea of materials. The region where I live, we have very cold winters. In our early spring, where other regions in North America, people can start growing, we cannot. How do you fight that? So what you do is make these hoops, and we'll cover this with plastic. Depending whatever you have available, transparent, translucent, does not make too much of a difference. What you're trying to do is protect the heat in here and try to keep it away from the cold outside as much as possible. Being this a raised garden, it will be typically warmer than the ground level soil, so you'll gain something. During hot summers, it happens that there are plants that you want to grow, and you really can't grow them because it's too hot or too much sun. So yeah, sometimes too much sun becomes an issue. As much as your tomatoes love, or your okra loves a lot of sun, your lettuces don't. So what you do, in the middle of the summer, you can still grow things over here and cover it with something which shades them. Then, the other problem with animals. Where I live, I have problem with squirrels, deer, rats, quite a few other things I might not even know. So what my hope is, because I'm about to fight it for the first time this year, cover it with a netting where they cannot penetrate. And my hope is with rabbits, at least, these being raised gardens, they won't be able to jump into it, but let's see. But this is what I'll try to see, compare, and figure out how it goes this year. You will be on that journey with me for the rest of the year. So remember to subscribe and like. I said metal bars, PVC pipe, and netting. That's it. The construction is decently cheap, very quick to do. Jan is around here. Eventually, he will show you how it's done. But let me remind people, there are people, gardeners, who are against PVC piping. A couple of reasons. Some find it that it breaks in a few years. So why build something which breaks in a few years? Fine, I'm with you. For me, if I'm getting a few years out of it, which could be, let's say 3 to 5, I'm happy because the material is so cheap. Then there are some who have an issue with PVC piping, that when it starts breaking, is it going into their food? I personally don't see an issue, and the reason being, that before it starts breaking, I'll throw it out. It will start cracking and it would not stay over here. The other issue is the metal bar. It's iron and it rusts. So if you have an issue with rusting, and the reason might again be that it's going into your food, this might not be a solution. I don't care. The reason is not that my food will get poisonous. The way the bars are going towards the very end of the growing area, and the rust will go down. What if you look at the height, and we'll discuss that. I'm not growing things over here which are very deep rooted. So most of the things will have shallow roots. So I don't see a reason that rust can become a poison issue. So the good, the bad, the ugly. The good of this system is it's cheap. I picked this today for $1.50. PVC piping, as I showed you, I think roughly around $5 for 10 foot. What you see over here is cut into half. So I have used half of it. So let's say $5 over here, 150, 150. That's 3 and 250. It's $5.50 per hoop. Whatever material I'll use on top of it, that again will be used over years and like for multiple years. And on this birdie's garden, I'm about to put 3 hoops. 550 means 1650, another couple of bucks for the material which goes on it, which is not just for 1 year. You'll use all of these things for multiple years. Oh, and I forgot, and I'll show you later. You have to have some clips, and the clips I bought, actually I bought it a bit more expensive than I wanted to. They were 98 cents. I have seen online there are versions which are cheaper, and I might buy those because they're plastic. These ones are metal, and I have a strange feeling they'll rust, but for the time being, they'll do the job. So if you can cover your plants for a matter of not too many dollars, and you can have wonderful greens, a head of lettuce, even when it's in season, is 99 cents, like $1, right? But when you're growing over here, the amount of lettuce you grow, one, it'll be homegrown, so quality will be better. Then you picking and choosing the kinds that you will like to eat. When I said 99-cent lettuce head, that's really iceberg, and the cheapest form of lettuce, which I'm not a big fan of. So if you go for some gourmet lettuce, a bag is between $2.50 to $4. And in this area, you can grow so much that for the next few months, and I'm just talking about this bed, we have 3 beds over here, it'll be enough for a family of 4. So this was a brief introduction to hoops. Now we will go, we'll talk to Jan, and he'll show you how he'll construct that. Again, the design is extremely simple. I already have talked about a couple of things, but I'll let Jan explain it again, that what we're using and how we will be connecting this together.
Okay, guys, so we're going to go over the construction aspect of the hoops. And we need something as simple as this PVC cutter. You don't necessarily need this. You could use a saw. Something as simple as that. A measuring tape, just because it's so long and you don't want to have one side bigger than other. It's gonna look wobbly in your construction if that's something you care about. Some clips and our netting material, just for the season that we're in right now. So these we did in half, and they came out to 10 and a quarter. So we're just gonna do that, the half of that. And here we got the 5 foot, we have the quarter, and then we use the half of that. You could guide yourself with the letters on the PVC pipe, or you could just put your finger down, and that's your, you don't have to draw a line or anything like that, no pencils, and bam. I said we're almost there. So we go ahead, these are our rods. We're choosing the ends, and we're putting 3 on each one. So this is the good, so having good soil could be a good thing or a bad thing. the soil is so soft that it's just gonna go. It goes in like butter. But we're lucky that we put wood underneath this bed, so we're still keeping the horticulture aspect of life. And in this case, it hit some wood, so it's perfect for us because we can just. Oh, you see, went all the way in. Okay, so let's say it goes in that way, right? That's fine, because what happens is that I'm putting pressure like that. This is how I have to bend them to put them in. So you're not really putting pressure downwards, it's the pressure's outwards. So it's really holding together with tension. And look how sturdy it is. And the wind is not gonna hit it that hard. Okay, so we're gonna put in our hoops. So right now we're just gonna put in it with pressure. And this is really all you need. You don't want to put them in first and then put them in, try to kind of arch it and use that as a counterweight. It's just gonna be more difficult. So you will have to have a little bit more like muscle, and you're gonna squeeze them in together. And it's as simple as just put them in this way. Line it up, and that's it. You see? There's nothing underneath on the sides that is holding it together. It's just the pressure itself or the tension itself from the PVC. And you see, the tension is going outwards, and it's holding perfectly fine. Okay, so we're gonna head out to our next step, which is putting down our netting. So here we go. We'll put this end in, and I'm gonna go ahead and drape it down.
I can help you with that.
We're gonna drape it down to the side.
1 second,
because you also need protection from all angles. You know, you have to have your assistant helping you out. It's always good to have 2 people doing it. And if not that, for that, it's also good for the company and the conversations. So if you were doing it by yourself, just attach the side first, one end first, put in a clip, and then you just roll it down. So you don't need 2 people, but it's helpful to have 2 people. In this case, I'm going to go, there's a little screw popping out. I'm just going to use that to kind of hold it down together. And then we'll go ahead and trim these or make sure they're nice and even and everything's kind of just folded in, and we can just kind of push it in through the PVC pipe. So you just kind of hold it together. And then we're going to go and repeat this process.
So I started these seeds last week, and you might not be able to see the germination happening, but germination is already happening. What I did originally was I used something which was given to me for free. And what this is, let's see if you can see it or not. These are plastic sheets which go on basement windows to protect from typically cold. I got those for free. I planted the seeds and I put this on top just to cover it, and the idea worked fine. The issue is, as the plants will go higher, I'll have a problem because the clearance over here is a couple of inches and there another 1.5 inches. After 4 inches, it would have started hitting it and would destroy my plants. So that's where these hoops will work perfect. Jan will help me now. We have some plastic material that will cover, and you'll see how it's done. Jan, come over. The clips. And as Jan explained earlier, all we're doing from here is put some clips. The evening temperature is not as cold as what it was last week. So just having it this way should work. If I see there is a problem, surely I'll figure it out because I keep an eye on my plants all the time. Now, the reason to do this is simple. Jan, if I can have a clip, please. When you get to this point of the year, evenings could be cold. But if it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit outside and you have a covering like this, it becomes almost 90 degrees. So we're putting this plastic. Now this design, what it does is when it rains, rain will go through. If it was a square design, you'll have an issue. The problem which happens around this time of the year when you start getting the 70s degree temperatures during spring, which feels nice to humans, but something covered like this will have a higher temperature and you don't want to stress your plants. So what you do is you cover it most of the time. During the morning, what you'll do is come up and open one side. So this is why these clips. You just take that, roll it over, let it sit all day, and then uncover it. Oh, sorry, cover it every night. Jan will do this last part, and you'll realize the simplicity of these designs. And I think as a home gardener, all of you can do that. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.